I was really nervous. After the first day, I didn't think it went well. And then the second day, it seemed to gel. I remember in Florida watching them, and it was right behind Jimmy. You know, he was just on fire. There was a lot, but it all makes sense to me.
And that's all that matters.
Just to me.
Brooks Wackerman is the drummer for the band Avenged Sevenfold. Before joining the band in 2015, Brooks had already built an incredible resume, touring and recording with Infectious Grooves, Suicidal Tendencies, Bad Religion, and Tenacious D. Since becoming a member of Avenged Sevenfold, he's played on the band's two most recent albums, The Stage and Life Is But a Dream. Please welcome Brooks Wackerman to Drumeo. There it is.
Backcountry.
No big deal. To all of you watching, please welcome the one and only Brooks Wackerman.
Thank you,
Drumeo.
Brandon.
Dude, I've been a fan of this band probably since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And when I started doing this, like one day, Brooks Wackerman will be here and we'll do some Avenged stuff. So I'm super stoked for this stream. And I know since we put that video out that some of you may have seen back in 2023, we met up with you backstage in Vancouver. Ever since that video came out, people are like, you've got to have Brooks on the channel with
Right
the
on.
kit. And shout out to Eric Fuller in the control room for getting this
Mr.
kit
Fuller.
all set up so we could do this properly.
He's the scientist.
We filmed a lot of stuff this week for the YouTube channel, so you can stay tuned for all of the main formats you're used to seeing here on the Drumeo channel. And Brooks also filmed a really cool video for all of our students over on the Musora platform. I think we went into like 12 different Avenged tracks. He picked some of his favorite parts from a lot of different songs, so you can actually practice with Brooks, dive into those, get some practice time in, and that's going to be available down at the link in the description. So in this stream, we're going to be playing a bunch of tracks. I think we've got 7 different ones. We're going to talk about your playing style and the records that you've recorded on. We're going to talk about how you've adapted some of the older parts to fit your playing style on the recent tours. But first of all, let's do another track. We've got Almost Easy.
Okay.
And we're going to get a taste of the double ride stuff. And yeah, this is just like a classic.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know about this one?
I mean, the double ride section, as you mentioned, is kind of the feature, you know, percussively on this. And it's such a unique part because just kicks in like a normal beat and then all of a sudden it goes animal style.
Yeah.
I love this song. It's one of my favorite Avenged songs. And yeah, Jimmy really went over and beyond on this.
I think it's really interesting to point out, like, you've got this second ride, like, quite low.
I do. Yeah. Because I have a rack system here, this is just where it fits.
Yeah.
So I would like it higher, but I'm going to talk to Eric about that and
Got to get that sorted.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so used to having it here now. It's just became second nature. So, but I know it looks really odd having this so low and this so high that it visually looks asymmetrical. But
Yeah.
you know, it's really close to the hats, so it's pretty easy to navigate.
Yeah.
On my left side.
Well, dude, you make it work. So if it works, it works, right?
There we go.
All right, let's hear Almost Easy, and then we'll jump into some other stuff.
I feel insane every single time.
Nice, dude. You're probably not used to the play a song and then talk and then play another song.
No, it's new. It's a new intermission for me.
New territory. So I want to jump back kind of to the beginning. You obviously come from a very musical family,
Yes.
and I want to figure out like how did you end up starting to play drums and eventually ending up in Avenged? I'm sure there's a lot of things that happened in between, but
Honestly, I don't remember when I started because I was so young, according to my parents. As soon as I started walking, that's when they threw sticks in my hands.
yeah,
So it was always around. I assumed every household had a drum set because that's what we had.
yeah,
And then I soon learned that it was pretty anomalous that four boys end up as pro musicians. So, yeah, I mean, just kind of a abbreviated history. I started taking lessons from Murray Spivak, Chuck Flores when I was 9. Prior to that, I would just go to shows and kind of absorb music. I took privately from those two guys for about 5 to 6 years. Chuck did strictly like jazz independence, Murray classical rudimentary playing, and that's where I got my technique. And then I just started playing in bands. I remember forming a band in junior high, just playing with randos.
yeah.
And then I got into my first band, Bad for Good, who was signed to Interscope. And Steve Vai produced our record. So that was my first professional adventure into the music business.
Wow.
And then from there, I started playing with Infectious Grooves, Suicidal Tendencies, doing sessions. I worked with Danny Elfman when I was a teenager at the Village, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tenacious D, Bad Religion, and then now Avenged.
So did you, when you were in high school or middle school, like were you gravitating towards like metal and punk and all that kind of stuff? Because your brothers obviously were doing session work and Chad obviously with Zappa and
Yeah.
kind of went a completely different direction. But did you kind of feel like that was where you're going to be going?
Yes, eventually. I was a Zappa head starting, well, as soon as I could comprehend, that music as
Yeah.
best I could in junior high. And then I got into Van Halen. Prince was a big one. I was a huge Motley Crue fan,
Nice.
Metallica, Slayer. So yeah, I got into metal before punk, and then I discovered it. And then once I started playing with the Vandals, that's when I really got into punk rock, and that was in high school. But yeah, stylistically, it's all over the map. But when I started playing with bands, I seemed to gravitate toward rock, punk, and then eventually metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you ever, with any of those other bands before Avenged, did you ever tour with Avenged or work together on any bills or?
The Warped Tour. So when I
Okay.
was in Bad Religion, I discovered Avenged on the Warped Tour, and they stood out. And they had a reputation because at that time, every band on the Warped Tour either sounded like NoFX or No Doubt.
Yeah.
Like ska was huge. So it was refreshing to actually listen to a band that was taking chances. And I think I may have touched on this on our first interview, but like we're famous for having long ass songs. So
Yeah.
the Warped Tour set was like 30 minutes, which meant they were only able to play 4 or 5 of their songs.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great, but they were I remember in Florida watching them, and I was right behind Jimmy, and he was just on fire, with this double bass playing, and I was into double kick, and in Bad Religion I introduced the double kick flair, so to speak. So I definitely identified with where they were coming from, and the musicianship was awesome.
Yeah.
And then they were, famous for their work ethic, and yeah, it was just a different level of band, and I noticed that right away with them. So I think that contributes to the longevity of Avenged.
Yeah. Now, fast forwarding 2015 or so. How did you end up even being in the running or auditioning for the band?
It wasn't really I mean, yes, I got together with the band, but I mean, I was honored because I was the only guy they were considering at the time. And that was due to my personal manager being their tour manager,
Okay.
a friend of mine named Dione. So they started talking about me when they were looking for someone new. And my name got brought up, and our mutual friend asked if I wanted to get together and have dinner with them just to see where they're at. And I was immediately interested, and they were looking for a band member, not a hired gun,
Yeah.
which was attractive and you know, part of my trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they asked me to learn 4 or 5 songs, and we got together, played, and it felt right. I was really nervous the first day, and luckily we had 2 days, because after the first day, I didn't think it went well. And then the second day, it seemed to gel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you
it was
remember?
just nerves, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember what they asked you to learn? Like what songs?
Nightmare, Little Piece of Heaven, Buried Alive, probably Backcountry, I would imagine.
It's quite the audition. Or jam session.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not really jammy music. I mean, it's technical, but it's very structured. It's
Yeah.
very focused. And so, you know, I really had to get into that state of mind of similar to, I mean, it's probably not a good analogy, but when you hear a Ramones song, it's not jamming. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it has that kind of regimented quality, but also with feeling, you know, even though that may sound like a paradox.
And was that quite different from working with Bad Religion or Tenacious D? Did you have more, I don't want to say more freedom, but was Avenged much more play the parts or work within the parts, whereas Bad Religion and Tenacious D, you had more like openness to jam with the band?
Both bands aren't jammy per se,
Yeah.
but it was different in the sense that, so when I joined Bad Religion, I immediately identified it's a style, you know, kind of similar to the Ramones, where, you know, there's just certain fills, 16th notes around the toms that need to be played.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to be the guy. I mean, there's probably fans that hate the fact that I brought in a left side of my kick pedal.
Of course.
But no, I mean, both bands are stylistic and they have formula, but with Avenged, I'd say it's more in the sense that there's definitely more structure. But, you know, pockets where I'm able to improvise, I think they like, because I'm very conscious of not overdoing some of the jazz, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool because, I mean, I'm sure everyone watching knows the almost easy drum parts and they air drum them. But
Yeah.
even seeing what you do with the stacks and how you move around the kit and maybe, I don't know, change like little things up without changing the song.
Exactly.
It's cool. Like you're still
Yeah.
able to be yourself within those parts.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, that's a good example. So Almost Easy, where I do incorporate stacks, you know, I keep the pattern the same, but, you know, this is kind of my secret weapon.
Yeah.
It turned into my secret weapon, and I've written beats on, you know, there's a song called Higher on the Stage record where it's all based around the stack and acrostic. And so this has kind of became my voice.
Yeah. Let's do another track.
Okay.
We're going to do another one from City of Evil, Burn It Down.
All right.
We've got quite the drum intro on this one.
Yeah.
But what
Let's
else?
see how this goes.
Yeah, what else can we expect from this track?
I mean, it's a blistering track. You know, the classic Jimmy 16ths on the kicks, in unison with the toms. There's a lot of fills in that vein, and the parts go very fast. So, I mean, we don't really dwell on
Yeah.
a section for very long. But no, it's a burner. Yeah, it's definitely a burner. I like how it ends because it's almost has this like melodic openness to it. But yeah, this is one that we don't play live all the time, so I'm gonna do my best here.
Sounds good. Can't wait, man. Here's Burn It Down. Man, that's relentless. Wow.
Not exactly your verse chorus.
No, there's a lot going on there. I do just want to mention once more, this is one of the songs that Brooks breaks down in his video over on Musora. There's that intro you're doing where you switch from playing the head to playing rim shots.
Yep.
And there's a lot of subtle details in some of those parts, so you can check that out at the link down in the description. I'm curious, man, the double bass in that song is, I mean, you're so consistent and it just sounds like a machine gun.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that maybe helped you get to that level of playing double bass? Was it certain exercises? Was it a technique? What would you recommend?
Really just playing 16ths at a slow pace. So, I mean, just to give you an example, I mean, I would go as slow as... and just figure out combinations around the toms that work in unison with the kicks.
Yeah.
You know, this being one. So just taking it slow and then working up your speed, you know, stretch a lot before you burn it down, if you will.
Man, it's so cool to see you play that. When was the last time that was in the set?
I mean, we played it maybe 2 times on the last tour.
Okay.
But this is a song where if Matt decides he wants to do, I usually go to the venue early.
Yeah.
To make sure
just shed for a bit.
To make sure that the feet aren't lazy.
Yeah. Crazy, man. I want to talk a little bit about your playing style. Even just watching you move around the kit, I know you're big on technique. You studied it a lot from an early age. But even just watching like the way you hit different cymbals on the kit based on where they are, everything seems so intentional. So what are some of the things that go through your mind?
I mean, you're probably getting a lot of cymbals, but I'd say a weakness I have is overplaying on the cymbals. So I'm pretty conscious of how hard I'm hitting the cymbals now. When I was in Bad Religion, I was bashing more, but now I think I add more finesse to it. And with these Istanbuls, these are dark, these are light. I use my ears a lot, so if something's sounding a little too high-endy, I'll come over here to balance it out.
Nice.
So that's a great thing about these cymbals is that they have such a line from dark to light that I'm really happy with this arsenal of cymbals up here.
And then what about your setup? So everything is so, I mean, you look effortless when you're playing these crazy parts, and it seems like everything is kind of right here under your hands. What's the approach there with even just setup and how you move around the kit?
I mean, it's all ergonomics, right? I remember when I got the Avenged gig, you know, last time I used double kicks was when I was in junior high. So
oh, wow.
It took a while to get here. Initially, I just had 2 toms, no 13, and then I realized I needed this baby. So as you saw with Burn It Down, there's not much time to get a couple inches over here with this cymbal. So this feels comfortable to me. I've raised my seat this past year. I used to sit lower, and then I was getting some hip issues. So I realized that was the cause of that. And I mean, with these DW BDMs, bass drum mounts, I can get these cymbals pretty close without a rack in front. So, and then the same with the stack. But yeah, it took some time to figure out what works. You know, the high ride just feels natural. And also the auxiliary hats, you know, not too much crossing over now that I have this. So sleeping better without having to cross over.
Totally.
And this is just ergonomically better. Just for this gig, it makes sense to just have everything very intimate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. The next track we're going to go even older. We're going to go to Unholy Confessions
Oh, wow.
from Waking the Fallen.
So the live version is entirely different tempo-wise. We bring back the slower parts by like almost 50%.
Like that outro is like sludgy when you guys do that.
This may take a take or two because I haven't played the original ever since I got into the band.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna crush it. And then you also come out of this song into a drum solo live.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a taste of that.
We'll get a taste. Yeah.
I love it. All right, this is Unholy Confessions.
I do something kind of like that.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, let me just start with the song. Some of the stuff you're adding in there, like the double rides and some of the things that some of the hits and stuff are so cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's all there. How long has it been playing to the studio track and it's still there?
I've never played to the studio track. Literally, that
Unreal.
ending is. That's how slow we play it live, just because
Yeah.
playing arenas, it just translates better. And
Yeah.
I think the fans like the mods. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So cool. So the solos, like I was talking with Eric and he's like, dude, you never know what you're gonna get. It's different every night. Are you improvising every single night for the solo?
It's every night is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you find like I mean, the stuff you're doing in there, like pitch bending, and you've got like some 6/8 stuff you were doing in that one right there.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like that paradigm groove a little bit.
Maybe because it was nestling in my brain yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think that they came out. But I do a lot of 6/8 work around the toms,
Yeah.
kind of Danny inspired,
Yeah.
Bozio inspired. But yeah, I'll get on a motif and then, snares off, snares on. Just, I try and bring like a different element to
For sure.
each solo,
Yeah.
something that can translate, in an arena too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just 4 on the floor. Sometimes it's, get the human hands clapping.
That's right.
So
Would you say that's like a highlight of the show for you? Just getting to take a minute.
it
and
is because
create?
it's different every night.
Yeah.
So, it kind of goes back to when I used to solo in my dad's jazz band. So that was always different. So yeah, I look forward to the solo because, it's a risk.
Yeah.
Sure, I have a lot of safety blankets and nets to fall back on, but yeah, I think just with it being fresh and different every night, it's fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the fans too, knowing that they're going to get something that's one of a kind.
Yeah,
That hasn't been
exactly.
done on a previous date or
Totally.
pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So I just want to talk a bit about, we kind of talked about the lead up to joining Avenged.
Yeah.
You've done 2 records with them. And maybe tell us a little bit about the stage, first of all, and how that transition was from playing with the other bands to now you're recording in the studio with this new band.
Yeah, I mean, it was just very different. Every section, I don't want to say is under a microscope, but we demo for a long time before going into a live room. So most of what's on the demo is the song already, with maybe 10 to 20% spontaneity in the studio, but we know everything from orchestral parts to all the sections, how it should go. So we have a pretty concrete blueprint. So I think working with a band that's pretty surgical in not only rehearsing parts, but also not swaying from the original idea was new to me,
Yeah.
But I also learned, the importance of working on and crafting a song for a while and, watching it grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We did this whole video on the stage, which will come out on the channel. And
Yeah.
it was cool to hear kind of the inside look to how you came up with the stage intro and how grueling that process was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool stories that you're going to see on the channel. But the next record you did, Life is But a Dream, the newest one, I think that one shocked a lot of fans. Like that, to me, that's the most, like the biggest direction change of any one record to the next in the
Totally.
catalog.
Yeah.
So what was the kind of backstory behind that?
I mean, it was the same philosophy in the sense, with every Avenged record is how do we want to approach this and how can we not mimic what we did 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So there was definitely more chances with sonics on that record, especially on a song called "Oh," which is Daft Punk inspired. Matt wanted to do more with a vocoder and effects on that, and that was part of a trilogy. So G was progressive, kind of Zappa-esque song, and then we went into a dance number, and then we ended it with like a Sinatra
Yeah.
ballad. So
It's wild.
yeah, it's just pushing the envelope with us. It's you're not going to get the same record.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever we're listening to at the time, we're huge Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Patton fans. So he's never going to make the same record. So like
Yeah.
to see his career and how obstinate he is with his art, I think we've adopted that same philosophy where, yeah, even if you're coming to an event show to hear the hits, we're going to play something new. You may not like it, you may, but here's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Is there a song or two on that record that you maybe had like more of an influence on, or is there one that you brought to the table that maybe you influenced the direction more?
I think the bridge in Mattel where it goes into the tight triplet groove, I brought that to the table. I think we were working on a bridge, and I was just playing around with that groove, and that turned into a whole bridge section.
Cool.
So that song, drumming wise, I loved just how different each section is too. And on the verses, playing no snare, and it's just a double kick pattern with 16th notes on the hi-hat. That one stuck out. G, I felt really free on that one. So that's a song actually where each take was very different.
Okay.
Yeah, so like on the verses, I was just feeling very free. So each take was different, and I loved how that one turned out.
Well, we're going to do 2 tracks from the new record. We're going to swap to the 12-inch hats. We're going to do Nobody. Before we do that, what should we know about Nobody?
The chorus groove and the intro has this trap beat feel to it. So any drummer that wants to take this on, just remember, keep it very machine-like. That's, to me, the driving force of the song.
Yeah.
And then I switched to 12-inch hats, which gives it even more of a metallic
For sure.
trap feel. And then on the verses, I go over to the auxiliaries, kind of like a Bonham thing. But yeah, I'd say the unique part about the song is the trap beat and just getting the right feel for that, because it's pretty unrelenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's swap the hats and then let's hear Nobody.
Okay.
Outside a dream.
Dude, that outro. It's like it just gets crazier as the song goes on. It's so cool.
You know who Justin Hawkins is? He reviewed that song when the single came out. And during that outro, he's like, oh man, a little Virgil Donati.
Yeah.
There's some Virgil Donato shit going on there, isn't it? I love that.
Dude, there's some
Virgil Donati.
some greasy little like flam stuff in there. Like, holy.
Some Australian fusion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also didn't realize from listening to the recording, when you're playing that double ride part, you're like on the bow on the main ride, but you're on the bell on the offbeat, which is cool.
Yeah. And that goes back to finding that like sonic balance, because if I go, it's too much, but if I stay on the bell and then stay on the tip here, it's less obtrusive, you know?
Yeah, very cool.
So
Did you do that on the record too?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But on the record, it was an overdub because we wanted the separation.
Got it.
So the hi-hats were an overdub, and then all the cymbals were overdubs.
Nice. And I guess then you just have to adapt that for live and figure
and
it
then
out.
I had to learn how to play it.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy though. Like you can hear how like machine-like all these parts are. Yeah, it just sounds, I don't know, that's got to be like a tough thing to start to learn how to do and how to manipulate your dynamics and your technique to make that possible.
I credit all of, my 10,000 hours with stick control and accents and rebounds because Murray had me do everything in front of the mirror to make sure my stick heights were correct, one not higher than the other, even. So I just applied that, on a harder level, playing that. But yeah, without those studies, there's no way I would be able to get through a 2.5 hour show.
There you go. 10,000 hours of stick control, kids.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
That's the big secret, guys. It's out.
So you've been in the band for, I guess it's 10 years now, right? 2015-ish?
Yeah, 10 years.
So, like, what are you looking forward to at this point? Like, more shows? Are you looking forward to more writing in the future?
I mean, the live shows are very exhilarating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking at the beginning, just trying to get the body to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
But once we're out there and we're the machine is well greased, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And we have the best fans in the world. Studio is cool. It's definitely, you have to adopt a new sense of patience, especially with Avenged. It's, we try every option.
Yeah.
Which is what makes these records what they are. But you definitely, have to check your ego in at the door and best idea wins, basically.
Yeah.
Whether it's me saying that bass part should be different or Matt saying, I think you're overplaying here. And, and we have such a mutual respect for each other that, we're all on the same page and chasing the same goal, which is making the best music we can possibly execute.
Yeah. And do you think that's the way the band has been since day one, like executing or
I think so, yeah.
trying every idea possible?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the work ethic in this band they had a reputation before I even knew these guys, like the sound guy and Bad Religion would always rave about, oh yeah, Avenged does this, Avenged does that. I'm like, really? Bands actually do that and put that much effort into it? And he's like, yeah. So we're always just like, how can we improve the show? How can we improve the recordings? And it's always, there's just a moving forward motion, I guess is the best way to describe it.
We're going to do one more track from the new record, Mattel.
Yeah.
Which you talked a little bit about that triplet groove that we'll hear in, I guess it's the bridge.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Time change.
Yeah. Anything else we can expect in this track?
It's another track, it's kind of burn it down light in the sense that there's a lot of parts to be played.
Yeah.
But in a very musical way. My son asked me, well, what song took the longest on the last record, and I had to think about it. I'm like, oh, it was probably Mattel, just because I really spent time on how to orchestrate the fills, and in the bridge, it kind of turns somewhat orchestral with the dynamics and kind of the ebb and flow of that section. So this song definitely was the most work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even just getting to, you've got those like piano and vocal breaks
Yeah.
that happen every once in a while, and it's such a trip.
I know.
Like, there's so many ups and downs.
Alice in
throughout.
Wonderland.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, let's hear it. This is Mattel.
So there's that.
You can see why that took the longest on the record. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Just the orchestrated parts and the shifts in tempo and vibe. There's so much going on in there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense to me.
And that's all that matters.
Just to me. It only makes sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to you, but that's okay.
Yeah. But no, that's a fun one. We play that second usually in the set. So, yeah.
So I have to ask, so obviously Mattel, the company,
Right.
but what is the song actually about? There's like Barbies and stuff in the music video.
So you have to ask Matt that question. I think he had the name before the Barbie movie was even released. So it was just ironic that, the Barbie movie was as much of a phenomenon as it was. So that's why we got amazing director named Zoe Katz to do the video, which consists of Barbie dolls. And it's rad. So I'm not going to go into the meaning. I always mess up the lyrics and the meaning of every song I've ever played on.
Don't ask the drummers what songs are about. We never know.
Yeah. I don't know. My short answer is a life that you thought was going to be grand doesn't, you get what you've always dreamed of, and then, it just turns into a pile of shit. I think that's what it's about. So
there you go.
Still along those lines. Yeah.
Amazing. That's a profound. I love it.
Now you can interview Matt and see what he says it's really about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, Brooks, we're almost at the end. And
just like that.
Just like that. Yeah. It was that easy. A little bit of double bass here and there.
A little bit of double bass.
Few
double rides.
Yeah. And here we are. But I know you don't do a lot of stuff like this, so thank you so much for being here to,
of course,
share your knowledge and wisdom with everyone who's watching and all the stories. And yeah, this is a real treat for everyone. So
I usually shy away from clinics and I shy away from education. But after seeing what you guys do and just how much you care and the knowledge that you have and everyone behind the glass, it was a no-brainer. I'm like,
thank you, man.
Okay, it feels right now. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're always welcome back. And you may have noticed this isn't in the normal Drumeo studio. This is in East West Studios in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I believe this is the room that Californication and Toxicity and all these amazing records were recorded in. So cool to have the Avenged kit in here and capture your playing in one of the best drum rooms in the world. So
seriously.
Yeah. Very cool. And once again, if you actually want to learn from Brooks, he filmed a video yesterday at the time of filming this, where he dives into tons of Avenged Sevenfold drum parts, including all the ones that you saw him play today, and a bunch of others like Blinded in Chains, The Stage, Paradigm, a whole bunch of stuff. So you can check that out over on Musora at the link down in the description. We're going to close out with, in my opinion, one of the most epic Avenged tunes. We've got A Little Piece of Heaven, which even just Jimmy's vocals in this tune are just
pretty insane,
crazy.
Yeah.
Anything we should know about this track before we play it?
I mean, it's not really a drummy track. I mean, I think Jimmy plays great on it, but I mean, his vocals is what always gets me, you know. And we use his studio recording live, so that comes out of the speakers. But yeah, it's a fan favorite, and I just love it. I love the melodies. Has a cinematic angle to it too. Obviously, with the subject matter too. Mm-hmm. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And Brooks, thanks once again.
Thank you, Brandon.
And here's A Little Piece of Heaven.
Before the story begins, is it not just
the store.